everybody, I thank you and wish you a very happy and healthy new year, and be sure to tune in for my next video bringing you my 2012 Celebrity and World predictions. Visit my website at josephtittel.com or spiritmanjoseph.com and listen to the live broadcast for my New Year's show at iTunes. You can download it on itunes.com or go to blogtalkradio.com/spiritman. Thanks again, everybody. God bless, and have a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Joseph Tittel. I am a medium and author. I've been working as a medium for more than 20 years, and this is part 2 of my predictions. This is actually really part 1 of my actual predictions, if you already saw my intro video. So the way I do my predictions every year, if you haven't seen my intro video, is I go through meditation and prayer, and when I do so, I go in with a recorder, and the visions and different things that I see, usually I'll see sometimes flashes, headlines, videos, photographs, sometimes symbols that I need to interpret, and very often I don't always know what I'm saying, and when I'm done, I'll go back to the recording and listen to everything that I said, that I saw in my meditation. I will put everything together and basically print it out and type it up into written predictions. And as I'm doing that, more stuff will often come to me. And then randomly, throughout the month of like December, I usually do my predictions a week before New Year's. That way, because I made predictions earlier, and often they would come true before I would have to actually get them out there. Some of the previous things that I had predicted, I was the only psychic that I know of in the world who have predicted in 2011 all details of everything that had happened in Japan. The tsunami, the earthquake, the nuclear power plant issues, and the issues that they had with the toxic nuclear waters. Other previous predictions, the death of Michael Jackson, Heath Ledger, Elizabeth Tower. There's just so many more that you can find just by going to my blog. Go to my website, josephtittel.com, spiritmanjoseph.com, same place, and access my blog through there. You can access all my predictions from 2009, 10, 11, and coming up soon in the next week or two, I'll have them up on my blog for 2012. Right now we're at January 2nd, 2012. I first put out my predictions yesterday on my radio show. You can go back and download that on itunes.com or go to blogtalkradio.com/spiritman. So basically my predictions for 2012, they are numbered, and then I also have weather predictions, political, economy, and then some celebrity predictions. Also, I'll be adding to this over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. You can find me on Facebook under Spiritman Joseph Tittel. Look for me on Twitter under Medium J Tittel. So, number 1 of my predictions, there's going to be a major train derailment that hits headlines. I believe that this will happen in China or Japan, possibly even over in Europe. I kept getting the number 101, which could possibly be related to the number of casualties or injuries, could possibly be related to the date January 1st, which was yesterday, so that did not occur, or it could be related to October 1st. Again, I believe that may be related to the casualties. This derailment that I kept getting feels kind of shady to me, like possibly that it could have even been caused by somebody purposely. So, number 2 in my predictions, major controversy will erupt out of Alaska. Something to do with political movement in Alaska. Not quite sure, but I believe that it involves the government and possibly even the FBI. And number 3 of my predictions, terrorist attacks that are going to hit Europe in 2012 in very unexpected places. So there's going to be several terroristic attacks in 2012. One of those is going to be outside of a train, bus, or subway station in Eastern Europe. I believe in Eastern Europe. Also, I see 3 separate bus bombings. One may be in Australia, the other one may be in Israel, Jerusalem. Now, number 4 in my predictions, Russia is going to experience a second large terroristic attack on its subway system in 2012. believe they had one in 2011, and I believe another one will occur in 2012. Number 5, I kept getting the significant dates of July 24th, 2012, and also the whole month of July 2012, which will be, I believe, mark off a lot of crazy stuff. July is going to be quite a busy month in the world. Lots of headlines in July. Number 6 in my predictions, I see 3 bombings that took place that look like to me that they take place on a large bus on the streets in a very busy city. It's possible that this, in my visions, could be either, I kept getting a number. It was, oh god, what was the number related to it? I don't know, but remember go on my blog and look at it. But there were 3 bombings, and it was really possible that these could either occur at the same exact time, or they happened consecutively, one right after another. One day after another, or 1 hour after another. They just seemed to me that they happened consecutively. Number 7 in my predictions, large mudslides. Cannot tell exactly where it is, but it takes place, it takes out a large, significant building, kind of like a school, a hotel, a lodge, etc. This hits headlines likely because of the building's significance, you know, because of maybe how many people are in the building or how big the building is. That's why it hits headlines. Possibly that there could be people trapped in the building. There was the number 3 or 30 that was associated with this, which could be 3 to 30 casualties or people trapped or injured. Number 8 of my predictions, Texas area on the Gulf Coast faces another danger in the way of an oil-related disaster. Wasn't really happy when I heard this one. It doesn't feel like a very good situation to me at all. Seems like there's a lot of chaos based around this this oil-related disaster that occurs, and I believe it is because of all the politics and the presidential debates and everything that's going on, that they all want to get involved and try to help, and it becomes a little bit more chaotic. Number 9 in my predictions, one of the biggest headlines of the year of 2012 is going to read, that I kept seeing in my headlines in my meditation, was Storm of the Century. This storm is going to have a fury like no other storm, affecting several different states or countries. A storm leaves a path of destruction like never seen before. Craziness. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of crazy, bizarre, weird stuff like that next year. Number 10 in my predictions. A small tidal wave of sorts hits the shores of Hawaii. Not much to worry about though here. I don't think it's going to be a huge big deal. It will damage. I saw boats flipped over, but I don't believe that anybody hopefully will be injured in that particular incident. Number 11 in my predictions, 2012, chaos and upheaval comes out of Cuba. So much trouble in 2012 for the country of Cuba. A possible death or assassination of their leader. Cuba possibly begins a new war, and possibly a new war against drugs. Number 12. Yeah, Cuba just gave me a really bad vibe. Cuba, just a lot of upheaval definitely in Cuba in 2012. Number 12 in my predictions is Japan. Unfortunately, will be hit by a large earthquake up to an 8.1. This time I feel it's more towards the northwestern part of Japan. Now, it just so happened that there actually was one yesterday. I think it's 7.0 in Japan. I don't believe that's the exact one. Even though I did say on the radio show prior that I did believe that they were going to get hit by one soon, and they just did January 1st, but that's not the one that I believe is number 12 in this year's predictions. I believe the number 12 is going to be much larger, more along the lines of what happened in the past year. Number 13 in my predictions, 2012 will mark off the year of one of the largest disasters that we may have ever seen. I think this may be a weather-related disaster combined with an outbreak of either some kind of disease or bacteria. Not only will this impact kill probably thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people, probably more in the hundreds of thousands of people, but I believe that hundreds more will die afterwards because of disease or famine or something related to that. And I see a lot of people, other countries, United States and Canada, that seem to get involved and try to help with disaster funds and disaster aid. I see a lot of celebrities, a lot of people get involved in trying to help. It looks like, again, like this marks off one of the hugest ever. I'm not sure exactly where this is going to occur yet. Hopefully I'll get some kind of update and have this up on my blog soon. Number 14 of my predictions, Germany. Germany is going to have some issues this year too, in the way of a couple different things for Germany in 2012. Germany's going to face upheaval and chaos because riots in the streets, protests, people become angry towards the government and towards financial systems. And it's going to be pretty much the same scenario for many countries, I believe, throughout, as it has been in 2011, which I predicted in 2010 and 2011. But again, Germany's going to face a lot of that next year, especially during the first half and the mid part of the year. Number 15 of my world predictions. During the first part of the year, there's going to be a large amount of political change throughout the world. At one point, it's going to seem like the whole entire world is going completely mad with protests, riots, upheaval, chaos throughout many countries all at the same time. The people will become all angry all over the same similar things, which is going to be that it's going to be the governments, their freedom, and so much more. Eventually, this will all lead to positive, so remember that, it all leads to positive, and sometimes, you know, maybe we need to do this in order for there to be positive change, because I know in the United States, if they don't do something soon, it's not going to be a good scenario. But I do believe it's all going to change, and it's going to be positive, so, and it's going to change, the world's going to change, it's going to end as we know it, but not end like all of us dying. Not going to happen, sorry. Sorry to disappoint anybody out there. Number 16 in my predictions. A huge earthquake, possibly 9.0, out in the sea causes one of the largest tsunamis ever seen. This could possibly be related to my number 13 prediction, which is the world's largest disaster that we have ever seen in our lifetimes. Most likely they are related to each other. Again, I'm not exactly sure where this is going to occur. Number 17 in the predictions, Norwegian leader dies. He is either killed or assassinated. I believe this may cause some kind of, I see people holding signs, like kind of like protests or maybe memorials in memory of this person. Number 18, I kept seeing a headline that kept saying Jackson dies. Couldn't figure out what Jackson it is. It's certainly not Michael, he's already in spirit, but maybe it's Joe Jackson, maybe it's Jesse Jackson. Not sure, but definitely a well-known Jackson. I believe a male too. Number 19 in my predictions. I keep seeing a large building fire that I could not quite place. It looked to me like this was in a city setting, kind of like New York, and the building was about to collapse in my vision, affecting all the buildings that surrounded it. There were some kind of connection to the word Madison or the letter M, so it could possibly be the name of the area, maybe the street, Madison Avenue. There's another letter M, looked like a large building to me, and again it would be something most likely that would hit headlines and cause probably casualties. Number 20 of my predictions, a positive medical breakthrough in the way of breast cancer in 2012. There's good news for those who are facing breast cancer, affected by breast cancer, or infected by breast cancer. Good news in 2012. It's going to be a major breakthrough, positive breakthrough. Number 21 of my predictions, another medical breakthrough in the way of prostate cancer for men. Another positive news. That's another thing that's going to happen in 2012. It's going to be a lot of discoveries, a lot of breakthroughs, and also it's going to be a year where we're going to learn more about ancient history, ancient knowledge, things like life on other planets and things. We're going to learn more in 2012 than we have learned in the past few decades altogether combined. It's going to be an amazing year for learning. Where are we at? Number 22. Police in California make headlines when several police officers, I believe 6 in all, are caught abusing people and stealing. They are accused of doing drug busts and stealing the money and the drugs. This is going to be a large sting operation, and again, California. Number 23 of my predictions for 2012. FBI finally catches one of the largest, biggest mastermind criminals, serial killers, responsible for more than 132 deaths. This may be traced to deaths as far away as Europe. I believe that this guy is a truck driver and has used his career to help leave a path of bodies. This is going to be one of the biggest killers since the days of Charlie Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer, and they're going to catch him and put him by ice. Number 24 in my world predictions. 3 world leaders will die and will be removed from power after chaos reigns throughout their country. 2 of these deaths will be caused by fury and upheaval from the people. And I kept seeing fire bombs, fire. I saw Molotov cocktails being thrown, and so much crazy revolved around this. So there's 3 different ones. One of them could be natural causes, not sure. Last year I saw something similar, which ended up being North Korea's leader that ended up dying. There's going to be 3 of them this year, 3 major leaders that are going to end up changing hands and end up dying in some way. It's going to be, again, craziness, but again, most likely they're going to be Middle Eastern related leaders, as we have seen in the past, which will all lead to, again, another positive place where we need to be, where the world really needs to be. Number 25 of my world predictions. Keep seeing headlines that said tunnel collapse or tunnels collapse. So I'm not sure where this occurs, but I believe it would be in the United States. Could be out in Western California. There are several different tunnels that collapse, and I believe all at the same time. These are the kind of tunnels that like go through rivers or go through mountains, big tunnels. One of these is going to be a very heavily traveled tunnel, kind of like the New York tunnels that go under the river. These tunnels will collapse, most likely will be weather related or could be related to earthquake or mudslides. I'm not sure when that occurs, but could be during the summer months, as late as September, so between August and September most likely. So that's the first 25. I have a lot more predictions for you. Again, my name is Joseph Tittel, medium and author. I've been working as a medium and psychic for over 20 years. Please visit my website at josephtittel.com or spiritmanjoseph.com. This was part 2 of my predictions. Please look for video 3. That includes the next of my listed number predictions for 2012. Thanks again, everybody.